NORAD website, Santa's approximately 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighs in at 260 pounds when he starts his journey.
5'7"? Santa's like a fucking short king. That's why he's trying to compensate by giving all these kids presents. He's like, I need to fill my short heart. All right, let's check it out. This one is Trash by John Oliver. It's a web exclusive because I guess he's taking a few weeks off. Hey, how's it going, guys? I see a bunch of people on TikTok. If you want to come hang out on Twitch, link is in the bio. Come fucking chill. All right, let's watch the John Oliver bit.
Hi there, YouTube. It's me, John Oliver. We're still on hiatus right now, but I wanted to come back briefly to talk to you about a couple of things. And the first is trash. The thing that in his lifetime, Abraham Lincoln produced more of than he did anything else. And you know what? It's not just Lincoln, is it? It's all of us. Cormac McCarthy has produced 12 novels, and that's undeniably a lot, but it's not nearly as much as the trash he's generated as a human being. Cormac McCarthy has pooped more than he has written. That's just a fact. I don't want to argue about it. That's a fact. And it's not just that. Cormac's also sneezed into tissues, hasn't he? He's wiped his mouth with napkins. He's dumped out lasagna that he couldn't finish but didn't feel like saving. And that's trash. It's all trash.
Well, apparently John Oliver was at Stand Up NY on Monday. I know this is a dumbass aside, and I'm posting this like 2 weeks later, but yeah, like John Oliver was there. He was doing some stand-up at the Comedy Mob on Mondays, which is super hard to get into. I've been trying to get a spot for a while.
The most productive person on the planet's creative output is dwarfed by the amount of trash that they produce. And I'm including Shakespeare in this too, and Zendaya. Anyway, specifically, I wanted to talk about garbage cans in the small Swedish city of Malmo. It's basically the Ohio of Sweden. Is it? It could be. It's a big little city with an IKEA that kind of feels like Ohio, doesn't it? You're not going to check. You're not going to bother to figure out what I meant by that. Honestly, I barely know what I meant by it. Just accept it. Pop-Tarts are the bagels of cake. Hair is the fingers of the head. Malmo is the Ohio of Sweden. Things are whatever we say they are. Now, if you don't know anything about Malmo, don't be discouraged. Nobody does. Most people are learning about it for the first time with you right now. The most interesting thing about Malmo is that it's home to Nina Persson, the lead singer of the Cardigans, the Swedish band that had an absolutely massive hit in the mid-1990s with Love Fool. You know the song, it goes like...
Why do, like, all Swedish bands sound like they were made in IKEA? Like, what the heck is up with that? The Cardigans? What the fuck?
Yes. Okay, that's enough. I don't want that song stuck in your head, and I don't want to pay for the rights to play it in that exact order. Now, the reason I want to talk about Malmo is that it made the news a few months ago for an unexpected reason.
Whilst Sweden prides itself for being clean and one of the countries with the lowest levels of air pollution, Malmo is a Swedish coastal city trying to encourage people to throw their rubbish away using a dirty talking bin. Here she's thanking someone. And all in a sec.
Is that Oscar the Grouch's like a horny ex-girlfriend or something? Like, what is up with that?
Sexy voice.
Yep.
Oscar the Grouch is getting busy.
Yep. That's right. That's right. In an effort to encourage people to throw their trash away, Malmo programmed a few of its garbage cans to moan sexily when utilised. Now, a reasonable question to this information would be, what happens when a child uses the garbage can? And a reasonable answer to that is, shut up. Just shut up. Let's just enjoy this. Not everything has to be quietly bad. These garbage cans moan and say thank you after you put trash in them, and if you don't understand why that's fun, I'm honestly not interested in knowing you. You can choose to spend your energy, a finite resource by the way, complaining to me in the comments below this video, but please know I will not read them and they will not make an impact. Anyway, the trash cans don't just moan, they also have things to say.
The programmed female voice makes suggestive remarks, asking for a little more next time, and come back soon to do that again.
Excellent. No notes from me. Do you know what? some...
For some reason, my divorced dad really loves throwing away trash. Like, it used to be my chore, but every day he just keeps taking away the trash by himself.
If the objective is to get people to throw away trash, it is slightly undermined by the fact that you don't actually need to put any trash in them to hear them moan. You can just sort of flick the outside parts. And hey, maybe that's the point. Maybe Malmo wanted to remind people that penetration isn't necessary and digital manipulation is a completely acceptable path to pleasure. I don't know. I'll never know. I don't speak Swedish, and I'm simply not willing to learn. What I do know is that Malmo's system is clearly far better than our approach to trash right here in New York City, which appears to be allow all garbage to marinate in their own juices loose in the sun until the world fucking explodes.
Pretty much, yeah.
But to get back to my original point, sexy talking garbage cans exist in Malmo, and they're very, very good. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking at how much of this video is still remaining, and you're wondering, is all of this going to be about the sexy talking garbage cans? Well, no, it isn't, because I now need to talk to you about a very particular collection of garbage, because you may remember earlier this year we acquired a dozen haunted creepy dolls that were washing up on a beach in Texas. You may not remember why we did that, which is honestly fine. I don't really either. Sometimes we just do things. To dispose of them, we thought we'd found the dolls a home in Yarra, Australia, a place that we'd previously harassed for unrelated reasons. You may recall that we offered them our giant alligator giving the finger statue, these frogs, $10,000 to their local food bank, and a $5,000 donation to the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Ward. All in exchange for this stupid banana statue of theirs. Now, they countered our offer, nixing the exchange of statues, but saying that they would...
I wonder how they found out that koalas had chlamydia. Who was, like, the first guy who, like, messed around with a koala? Who was like, oh, man, I haven't had sex with anything else. What? Was it the koala?
Name a recycling plant after me for the donation. And guess what? They actually kept their word.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sophie Wade. I'm the Mayor of the City of Yarra. We can now declare the John Oliver Recycling Plant open.
Yeah, they did it. Yeah, they did it. And their response there was the exact appropriate level of enthusiasm for that announcement. Now, we asked them to run these demon dolls through their recycling machine, but they pointed out that they weren't the right kind of plastic and might actually damage it. And at that point, we were a little bit stuck, because these dolls need to be disposed of. We do not want them haunting our office anymore, whispering the dates of future plane crashes with their eyes. And we thought we might be in big trouble until we remembered those Swedish garbage cans. Because they seemed like the perfect resting place for these monsters. So, we started making plans to dispose of the dolls in Malmo until we were informed that the sexy moaning garbage cans no longer moan when you feed them trash, as that was apparently, and this part is true, only a summertime event. Yeah, it really doesn't feel right, does it? I don't want to get into a whole thing about which season is the horniest, but it's obviously not summer, is it? It's fall. It gets darker earlier and beds are more inviting. I shouldn't need to explain it any more than I already have. But importantly, the garbage cans still had the ability to speak if they were simply reprogrammed. And when we asked Malmo if we could reprogram them to say whatever we wanted, they very unwisely said yes. So, we sent the dolls to Malmo to be disposed of by literally the only person that we knew lived there. Please enjoy.
Hi, I'm Nina Persson. I'm the lead singer of the Cardigans, and it's my honor to dispose of these demon dolls for you. Hello, trash can. Here come the first one. Oh, wow. Aren't you disturbing? Okay, bye.
Mums. Välkommen till Malmö. Ni misstag från Texas-stämman.
Here are a few more.
That's hilarious.
Kom till ro nu, avfallsbarn. Era dagar som demoner är över. Mer tack.
Oh, you want more? Okay.
Mer.
Here you go. See you in hell.
Mer, avfallsbarn.
I'm just disposing of an American's trash. Bye-bye.
We had
Off you go.
Mer.
Here comes another one. Well, here's the last one.
I think I prefer
No, thank you.
Sov så gott. Tiden är kommen för dig att hemsöka Gud i världsrymden. Snälla dö.
Well, that's it. Please stop sending me your garbage babies.
We did it! Thank you so much, Nina Person. Rest in peace, Demon Dolls. Thank you so much for watching this. We will be back in February. Goodbye!
in February. Jeez, he's taking a long-ass hiatus. Alrighty. Next video is the food theory. Santa Claus. Your cookies are actually killing Santa.
Oh, milk and cookies for Santa?
Well, Santa has a long journey ahead of him, and our little treat helps make his journey a little bit better. Now, good night. Santa won't come if you're not asleep.
Santa? I made these for you.
Ho, ho, ho! I know you. You're the kid from Internet who says Gregory from FNAF is a robot. Oh, you've been very naughty.
Oh, this is gonna give me some deep emotional scars, isn't it? Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that decided a long time ago that if overanalyzing holiday traditions in the name of science was naughty, then we don't want to be nice. 'Tis the season of Christmas time eating traditions, my friends. That magical time of the year where you have your one obligatory sip of eggnog, where you lick a candy cane until it's pointy enough to act as a shiv, where you wait in a line that wraps around the block just so you can bring home a hunk of ham dipped in honey where half the thing is just fat. Ah, eating during the holidays
It's so good.
is great, but no holiday eater is quite as prodigious as the man in red himself, jolly old St. Nicholas. I mean, here in the States, it's tradition to leave out a plate of cookies and a glass of milk for Santa Claus to refuel between household visits. In my house, the cookie of tradition was the Oreo, and Santa preferred them double stuffed. And now that I'm a parent passing on that tradition, well, my mind did that thing that my mind tends to do. It went to that dark place again, friends, asking the very scary Christmas question: if kids around the world are all leaving out food and drink for Kris Kringle, wouldn't that start to add up to, like, I don't know, an unhealthy and dangerous degree? Like,
But he only eats that much once a year, dude. Let the man live. Let him live his life.
wouldn't it kill him?
Don't fat shame my guy. Lizzo can eat all she wants, but not Santa Claus? Santa Claus isn't allowed to eat what he wants, but Lizzo, come on.
How many pounds of cookie weight is Santa putting on in a single night? Could he survive that sort of caloric onslaught? So, you know what I had to do. I had to deck them halls with math. And let me tell you, after crunching the numbers, cookies are the least of Santa's concerns. It's not the sugar that's gonna get him, it's the alcohol. Loyal theorists, after today, you're never gonna wanna fly on Christmas Eve again. And it's got nothing to do with elevated holiday pricing and everything to do with a drunken sleigh weaving wildly through the air. So, how's Santa gonna fare on his famous flight? It's time to go ho 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 ho. So, we're all familiar with Santa's Christmas time cruise around the planet, right? Every December 24th, Santa hops in his sleigh with his reindeer and his mountain of presents and circumnavigates the globe, delivering gifts to all the good little boys and girls. It's an incredibly daunting task to deliver all those presents in one night. How does he do it? Do we even have a way of tracking Santa's whereabouts? Well, if tracking flying objects is your aim, then let me introduce you to the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD. NORAD is a binational organization between the US and Canadian militaries, meant to track any man-made objects that may fly over continental airspace, whether it's missiles, rockets, or Santa Claus. You see, NORAD and its predecessor
Sees this every year. My parents used to show me that. It made it seem so fucking real. Obviously it wasn't, But you played into it. It was fun.
Began tracking the whereabouts of Santa Claus all the way back in 1955, when a local Sears ad posted a phone number for children to call in and speak with Santa. Little problem with that though, one of the digits in the ad was wrong, which led to dozens of children trying to call Santa Claus and instead getting put through to U.S. Air Force Colonel Harry Shoup, who ended up playing along with the whole thing and started a tradition that continues to this very day. Every year, NORAD tracks the whereabouts of Santa Claus on its website over the entire night. So what's that trek entail? Well, according to the NORAD website, which again, it is a military website that we're using as a source to track Santa's flight, he starts his journey right at the international date line, the imaginary line in the Pacific Ocean that separates one day from another. Santa starts in the South Pacific, he heads through New Zealand and Australia, into Japan, the rest of Asia, Africa, Europe, and then finally finishes his journey in the Americas. He's able to hit every home in one night because he takes advantage of time zones. Just like how the eastern part of the world celebrates New Year's first, so too does it celebrate Christmas Eve before anyone else. By traveling west, this allows him to usually arrive at a home between 9 p.m. and midnight local time, according to NORAD. That means that he would start right at the international date line at 9 p.m. on the islands of Kiribati. He would then travel west, hitting every Christmas observing home.
I'm glad NORAD gave the kids until at least 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve to stay up. They're like, when should we do it? 8? Nah, 8's too early. 10? No, 10's too late. 9, okay, 9's a good time.
Home in the world before 11:59 p.m. local time in Hawaii. In total, that gives him 27 hours to make the entirety of the journey. Some sources that have attempted to calculate the scale of Kris Kringle's journey have given him a generous 31 hours by calculating from sunset in Kiribati to sunrise at his final destination. But if you know anything about kids, and trust me I do, they typically do not go to sleep right when the sun sets on a normal day, let alone the day right before they expect tons of presents to open the next morning. So that's the rough timeline we're working with, between 27 and 31 hours. But now the bigger and harder question, just how many houses are we talking about here? As you might imagine, there is a lot of disagreement about how many homes Santa actually visits during his Christmas Eve journey. Sources as to the number of homes Santa visits in one night range from 132 million homes, according to ABC News, to 396.
I like how he came with sources to this.
6 million houses, according to the Washington Post, to the absolutely insane 640 million homes, according to the Daily Mail. So, considering the huge range of estimates possible here, what's our methodology for this thought experiment going to be? Well, for each country that we look at, we're going to do our best to get a sense of what children in that country leave out for St. Nick. We're then going to use the latest data on population, religion, and birth rate to figure out how many homes Santa needs to stop at. In order to do all of this, we're going to have to mix and match some sources and make a lot of assumptions to get to the grand total. For example, while Christmas is a Christian holiday, many people who don't normally identify as Christian do celebrate Christmas, especially when it's popular to do that in their country. Take, for instance, the United States. Only 64% of Americans identify as some form of Christian, but an estimated 93% of Americans actually celebrate Christmas, according to a
That's pretty weird. I didn't know that. I know a lot of my Jewish friends celebrate Christmas. I didn't know other religions as well.
Gallup survey. So, we're gonna have to resort to some back-in-the-napkin calculations to get some of these estimates. Also, I should probably acknowledge that Christmas is not celebrated by all Christians the same way around the globe. For example, many Orthodox Christians don't celebrate Christmas on December 25th, but rather early January. And thus,
so see, they don't get presents.
Wouldn't be expecting a visit from Santa on Christmas Eve. Also, there are several Christian denominations like Quakers and Jehovah's Witnesses who don't celebrate Christmas at all. TLDR, we're just gonna use the best data we can to try and guess how many households celebrate Christmas in a particular country. From there, we're gonna take the caloric intake to figure out what exactly is filling up Santa's belly full of jelly. So with all those logistics out of the way, it's time to start this journey in the same place that Santa starts his, in the South Pacific Ocean. As Santa flies his sleigh from his North Polian workshop, he looks down at the millions of homes that he's about to visit. He takes a deep breath because he knows that the next 27 hours are gonna be rough. But it's for the children, he says under his breath. After a quick trek through the South Pacific Islands, Santa arrives at his first major country, New Zealand. In a typical New Zealand home, children don't leave out milk and cookies, they leave a pint of beer and some pineapple chunks.
Oh, fuck yeah. So, Santa's not totally unhealthy, it's just in America where everyone's a fucking fat fuck.
All to help him cool off, because remember, we're talking about the summer heat of the southern hemisphere in December.
Yeah, you don't need fucking milk and cookies for that. You're gonna throw up.
To the government of New Zealand, there's approximately 1,415,200 family homes in New Zealand as of 2023. However, we couldn't find reliable data on the number of people who celebrate the holiday, so we're just gonna have to guesstimate using information from the CIA World Factbook. Yeah, that CIA. They have the premier catalog of demographic information about population size, geography, and most critically for us, religion. According to the CIA, approximately 37.3% of Kiwis identify as Christian, meaning that of those 1.4 million family homes in the country, we expect there to be 527,870 homes that expect a visit from St. Nick. Like I said earlier, that's probably an undercount, but we're just gonna roll with it. So 527,870 homes, all leaving a pint of brewski and a serving of pineapple. If we approximate a serving of pineapple as about half a cup, or 41 calories, that's 21 million calories of pure pineapple. 52,000 whole pineapples.
I mean, he brings some home from Mrs. Claus and the elves, obviously. Maybe give some to the reindeer, give him a little few.
And already we're way more than Santa's stomach can hold, considering the maximum size of a person's stomach is 4 liters. And that's not even talking about the alcohol. Leaving aside the insane volume of liquid and the additional calories from all that beer, Santa is gonna be sloshed. According to the NORAD website, Santa's approximately 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighs in at 260 pounds when he starts his journey.
5'7"?
Based on that information, after consuming over 500,000 pints of beer,
Dude, 5'7"? Santa's like a fucking short king. That's why he's trying to compensate by giving all these kids presents. He's like, I need to fill my short heart.
Santa's blood alcohol count, which at this point is basically just pure alcohol, is at a staggering 14,000%. You know, that's just a mere 360,000 times the legal limit to be flying an aircraft. And
But he has a reindeer to guide him and Rudolph for when he gets too drunk.
now we know the true reason that Santa needed Rudolph to guide his sleigh tonight. And remember,
Oh, I didn't pre-watch it, I swear.
all these numbers are just calculating his first major country. If you add up all the calories between the pineapple and beer, Santa is leaving New Zealand consuming a monstrous 147 million calories. He just gained himself 42,000 pounds. Not gonna be fitting through too many more chimneys, just say that. After New Zealand, Santa doesn't have much time before he heads off to Australia. Over in Oz, kids leave out a...
You saw that fucking bet right there? Let's get it. Alright, let's fold. And get out of this table and save some money. We're dollar up. Dollar up, dollar up.
plate of cookies, and yet another pint of booze.
Just what I needed.
Of Australia's approximately 10 million households, at least 50% of them will be expecting a visit from St. Nick. So Santa is now on the hook for yet another 5 million glasses of beer. And if he just goes for the bare minimum one cookie per house, then he's due to eat the equivalent of over 147,000 full containers of Chips Ahoy. Santa leaves Oceania having eaten the astonishing 1.9 billion calories and having drunk 5.5 million pints of beer. Santa's next stop is Asia, thankfully, because it kind of gives him a bit of a break. Many countries here either don't believe in Santa, or even in the majority Christian nations like the Philippines, they don't typically leave out anything for St. Nick. So that means that we're gonna skip over Asia, which allows Santa some valuable time to burn off the calories and booze that he accumulated at the start of his journey. Heading over to Africa, much like Asia, there isn't a clear set of Santa-based traditions. While Santa will leave presents for all the good children of Africa, he is spared from more food. But don't get too comfortable there, Santa, because you're heading over to Europe next, and things are about to escalate. First, we're gonna stop over in the UK. British children leave out a nice mince pie and a glass of sherry for St. Nick. And can I just say, what is it with Britain and all their former colonies just trying to liquor up Santa Claus? Getting him tipsy is not gonna suddenly get you on the nice list. Or maybe it will. With an estimated 29.5 million homes in the UK and about 59.5% being Christian, that's 17.5 million glasses of sherry and mince pies that he now needs to wolf down. At 447 calories a pie and 156 calories per glass of sherry, that brings our calorie count to 13 billion and 14.7 million pints of beers worth of alcohol. Next, we make a quick jaunt over to Ireland, where
He's doing like 2 calories per fucking person.
I think you might already be able to guess. They leave out a pint of Guinness and another mince pie. Adding this in for the 1.5 million Santa-expecting Irish homes, Santa heads to mainland Europe after reaching 14 billion calories and the equivalent of 16 million pints of beer. Thankfully, this also means the end of his booze cruise, considering none of the other countries we're going to discuss add to the death of his liver. Next, Santa gets a break as he heads to the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark, which all avoid
No booze in Germany? That's surprising.
the tradition of gorging Santa on food and drink. Santa's break from food, though, doesn't last long, considering Santa reaches Italy, where he eats a single clementine at each of the estimated 20 million homes on the list. Even at 35 calories per clementine, this adds an additional 707.5 million calories to the total. Then comes Latvia, where Santa will eat 179 million calories from Latvian piparkūka, which are a type of gingerbread cookie. Next, in each of about 33,358 Icelandic Christmas homes, Santa will be eating a piece of, how to pronounce this? Let's just call it leaf bread, shall we? Anyway, leaf bread, which tastes like a crispy wafer at 183 calories a pop, adds an additional 6.1 million calories, bringing our grand total to 14,911,895,843 if you want to be exact. Our European tour finally is going to finish off here in Sweden. Swedish children leave out a nice warm cup of coffee for Santa, which should help him both warm up and sober up. The 2.799 million cups of coffee left out for him would end up being super dangerous for Santa. While a cup of coffee isn't a ton of calories when it's taken black at about 1 calorie per cup, there would be 95 milligrams of caffeine in each of those nearly 3 million cups. With a lethal dose of caffeine at about 200 milligrams per kilogram of body mass, our 118 kilogram Santa will have had enough caffeine to reach over 11,000 times the lethal dose in just Sweden. Santa's deadly journey then ends in the Americas. Santa's main food stop in South America is Chile, where he has pan de Pascua, or Chilean fruitcake. This 400-calorie South American treat adds 1.7 billion calories to our grand total. Santa then reaches his final destinations in the good old US of A and Canada for some classic cookies and milk. And fittingly enough, most of the calories that Santa consumes during his entire trip happen here in North America. 93% of Americans and 87% of Canadians participate in Christmas. That means if we're generous and say Santa eats only 1 cookie and a glass of milk per house, that is an additional 29,187,947,702 calories, which ends up absolutely decimating our grand total. After crunching all the numbers, after just looking at about a dozen countries around the world, we now have a total caloric intake for our main man Father Christmas. 12 drummers drumming. Drum roll, please. In total, Santa consumed 45,800,145,978 calories, or about 18,320,000 times what the USDA recommends an adult male eats in a given day. Besides being full, Santa would also have himself a blood alcohol content of 21,162,660%, which
He's a thick boy. He can take this.
is just a mere 53,000 times the lethal limit. So it seems pretty darn clear at this point that our main man Santa Claus ain't gonna survive his trip to December 25th. Let's just tally up all the different ways that we know for sure that Santa's dead. Completing Santa's journey may cause
All right, moving on. We don't need to hear about dead Santa. Just joking. This one is a hit-and-run suspect gets caught after causing a brutal crash. I don't know how to speak.
Advised of a hit-and-run incident. On October 28, 2022, Dunn County Sheriff's deputies were advised of a hit-and-run incident involving a vehicle rollover in Knapp, Wisconsin. Dispatch notified deputies that the suspect vehicle was a light blue BMW with Illinois plates and was occupied by a black male and female. As a deputy was in the area, he observed a vehicle with heavy front end damage pass him and begin traveling at a high rate of speed.
I think it might be them.
215 Connor got the vehicle eastbound at 49.
The suspect's vehicle began passing others on the shoulder. Due to heavy traffic, the deputy didn't proceed.
Partial Illinois plate, Robert 35, passing on the right. Weaving in and out of traffic. I'm running into some traffic here. They're probably going to hit the shoulder right up to exit 52.
Traffic to 52 are notify Oak Park County. Going on at 10-6. You're taking it off?
Oh shit. Why is there no audio though? I want to hear them like talk and shit.
So it's Laconia, well, 1 C, unit pass 3, I'll be second in pursuit. We're still east bound coming up to the 59.
Several other law enforcement agencies pursued the vehicle, but soon lost visual of it.
If unknown, not confirmed. We lost visual.
10-4-215. Last time I saw it, there was heavy front end damage, bumper flew off, all that.
Yeah, 10-4, I saw the vehicle.
Eventually, it was stated that the two suspects ditched the vehicle and fled on foot into a wooded area.
That's pretty smart.
The driver was later identified as 27-year-old Devontae Little, and the passenger as 28-year-old Marcella Benson.
Hey, Don.
Do so, main zone.
We got a dog if you want mutual aid.
Yeah, passerby stopped quick and said, yeah, 2 occupants, black hoodies, took off through the woods running south.
Okay. We have, sounds like one's loaded in the ambulance, probably medium to minor injuries.
From the other, I don't know really what happened.
So it's,
hit and run over there?
Yeah, it was a hit and run at the 32-mile marker. A car, the victim car rolled over. They fled. He found them. They flew past us on the shoulder, and then we pursued them till we lost them around this area.
Okay.
Minutes later, an Eau Claire police officer observed the two suspects run toward a building. Once they recognized the officer, they hid behind a pair of dumpsters while an employee of the business was on break nearby. As the officer gave them commands, Devontae took off running while Marcella stayed back.
Show me your hands now! Is there still one there? Hands now!
I'm not running, sorry.
One man.
I'd be like, I have no clue.
Running.
I do not want to get involved.
Male ran northbound around the edge of XL. It's got a red sweatshirt on.
Running,
I've got one female at taser point.
Yes, I'm not running.
Okay, put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Sam 115 headquarters. Females in custody. Do you have anything on you shouldn't have?
No, I just have...
Anything that's going to hurt me?
I just have my purse right here,
Okay.
sir.
Yep, I'll get in a second. 115 headquarters. I don't know if you copied. I'm out with the female. She is in custody. You heard it all? Maddie, just cover to the side here in case he comes around. Do you have anything on you shouldn't have?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Anything else in your shirt? You had a phone in there?
Yeah.
Anything else? No. Okay. Maddie, she's got a phone inside of her shirt.
Okay.
I'm going to turn you around so we're right in front of the camera right here. We're not trying to violate you or nothing, but I got to get that phone out of there, okay?
Where's that?
Is there anything else inside of there?
Huh?
Is there anything else inside of there?
Inside of where?
Your shirt? Okay. Her purse, and there's some possessions back behind the dumpsters. So
Okay.
we'll
Did you search everywhere else?
I have just patted down. I have not searched. I don't know if that one's on. They came right along this fence as I was starting. Yeah, they came right along this fence and crossed the road right here.
Wait, Tootsie and I just walked this fence line, so we
Okay.
probably pushed them this way.
They just came out of here, and I was just passing by or whatever, saw them come, and they ran behind those dumpsters. I thought they went behind the building, so I had to spin around, but I saw them back here. So they got possessions back here.
Is that what you saw them carrying for the most part, or do we need to do it?
I think this is where they crossed the road and they came here. I thought they went alongside the building, but they must have come right here. He took off going that way, yes. Okay. Miss, do you need any kind of medical attention or anything? What's that?
Yes.
For what?
My back hurts.
Your back and your neck? Okay. What's your name?
Marcella.
What's that?
Marcella.
Marcella. Marcella. Hey, she's requesting ambulance for neck and back pain. Marcella, what's your last name?
Benson.
B-E.
Yeah, that's all.
So what is it about your back and neck that hurts? Why is your back and neck hurt? What happened? Okay, I'm just making sure. Like, did you get hit? Is it a normal pain that you have? Okay.
Police continued to search the area for Devontae until they noticed him climb a fence and start running.
Okay, there's a squad at that end. What? Yep, there he is. Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Oh my god, that's so fucking nerve-wracking. It was like GTA police. It was like, is that him? Is that, get on the ground, get on the... Oh my god, that'd be terrifying.
Get on the ground! No! Lay down! Get on the ground!
This is part of the reason I never want to do
Get on the ground! Lay on your stomach now!
Anxiety.
Hand down your back! Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
My name's Ryan. Are you okay? Are you hurt at all? All right. You have anything on you that's going to poke us? All right. We're going to roll you my way, okay, bud? What's your name? What can I call you? All right. Roll you over this way. Yeah, about. Let's see if you lock these. Then we're going to roll you towards us. We're going to get you sitting up, okay? All right. Rolling you my way, buddy, okay? All right, there you go. All right, we'll have you sit up. All right. All right. There you go. Thank you. All right. Not hurt or anything? Cut a little bit. Cut a little bit? Where are you cut? Oh, I see. I got blood on me. Heads up, he's bleeding someplace, guys.
On my hand.
On your hand? All right. Someone want to throw gloves
Nice night right now. I mean, he's like, you caught me.
on and grab them. I have gloves in this pocket. Here, in this pocket, I have gloves. Yeah, let's get them just checked out. You have hand sanitizer?
Yeah. Probably.
Kills everything.
What? Should have just stopped. Yeah, we should have. When it first happened. Probably the smartest thing we could have done.
Huh? I don't know.
Stick around at all? Or
Yeah, stick around because you guys know what's going on more than we do.
State Patrol's
State Patrol's handling everything?
So it should be 2 people.
No matter what, people just want to go home. They're like, can I go? Is my shift over?
Yeah, but the other one's on the other side.
Oh, they already got him?
Yeah, we got her.
Oh, good.
So, he's bleeding.
Yep.
Just as a heads up.
Yeah, there you go. That one's coming.
Okay.
You heard anywhere else, man?
No.
Okay. Sounds good. So, we're going to have an ambulance come check on you. Make sure you're okay. And then we'll deal with everything else, alright? Again, thank you for your cooperation. My name's Ryan, and if you need something, just let me know, okay? Yes, sir. Alright. I saw him jump right about here.
Cuffs back.
Yeah, we can wait till the medics come and get him in there, and then we can. So he jumped here, but he came from hiding behind those things?
Yeah, Bo had contact with him over there.
Okay.
So
And
there
we
is
kind of chased him.
There's a red sweatshirt down at the gate's lock, so we can
Yep.
get through. I'm guessing that's probably his.
I'll ask him.
Down's like right down at the end of the fence.
Right next to the squad.
Yeah, we saw that. So we saw that, that's why we figured he was in here. And then he jumped here.
Yeah, we were chasing him.
This way. Yep, okay. Alright. What's going to be your first name, then?
I'm going to say D-A-V.
D-E-V?
D-A-V.
Sorry.
O-N-T.
E-V-O-N-T.
A-E.
Middle initial?
Little.
Little?
Not little. Middle initial D, little.
D Little?
Yeah.
And is Little your last name?
Yeah.
So, probably going to be sore, so...
Anyone else get blood on their hands that need hand wipes? They did a really nice flip, you know, like those ones you see on the TV where they stand straight up and go, like stuff I wish I could do, but I'm too Fat? Oh, I would be hurt badly.
That's funny that they're like, oh, I wish I was as athletic as the guy running away from us. Maybe you should recruit him to be a cop after. I don't know.
You weren't injured at all, right? Yep. Okay. We're still tracking down the guy that hit you, okay? So just keep taking your deep breaths, all right? You weren't injured at all or anything you're going to the hospital for that you can think of?
I'm okay right now. Okay. Just a lot of tingliness.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of adrenaline, so.
Sure. Okay. We'll keep taking your deep breaths. We're going to open that side up, so maybe I try and come sit on this.
He's like, I still want to sue him. So I don't know what my lawyer is going to say, so I'm just going to say tingliness.
Side. Traffic should be pushed back on this side if you just want to sit over here. Most likely he was coming this way. Front end came here, rear end went out there. He hit and he pivoted around there. His rear end ended up being down here. As you can see here, like you can see the front tires coming in.
Yeah.
The rear end started to kick out wide. And then they come out really wide. Because his front end wouldn't be here sliding this way, right? You know what I mean? So it's just good. Sometimes you get a crash and you have no idea what the hell happened. So sometimes you gotta start looking at the skids.
That's what my girlfriend says when she's washing my underwear. Sometimes you just gotta look at the skids. That's funny. All right, let's move on to some comedy news. The real reason Stavros left Cumtown? ? Let's check it out.
Airplane peanuts. Look, the show's great. Literally. What's the deal with airplane peanuts? Look, the show's great. Literally took my family out of poverty, so I can't be mad about Cumtown. But imagine if the dumbest thing you've ever done is what popped you huge. You know, God bless the Adam Friedland show. You know, I honestly think podcasting is, I mean, we're really pulling the biggest scam of all time over on people. This is complete bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, the way like media works, you gotta have something for your fans to do like every week. But I'm gonna take a long ass break. I'll probably do some kind of bullshit podcast or video show or something. Welcome back to episode 2 of Stavi's World.
It's already been 10 days since Stavi's World, a brand...
I don't think podcasting or like live streaming is bullshit. I think it's like a fun way to connect with people. Especially when I like doing both. You know, I like the process of posting both. It gets me like through the week and stuff. It's fun. But it's kind of funny he said all that and then is coming back and doing stuff.
A new comedy podcast hosted by Stavros Halkias launched their first episode on YouTube. Stavros is quickly becoming a household name in comedy, due in large part to his weekly crowd work clips and also the growth of his former podcast, Cumtown, which he stepped away from back in June, claiming that he hates podcasting and was basically only showing up to cash a check. Now, given that these were his reasons for leaving Cumtown, many of his fans were very confused to see Stavros starting a brand new show only 5 months later. So I asked 160,000 comedy fans what their thoughts on the new show Stavi's World were, and in today's video we're reading some of the best comments and showing some clips from the show.
This is a new pod. You're part of the the experimental batch
Love
of what
it.
we're doing here.
Thank you, buddy.
It's a little like, you know, what if your therapist was a fat Greek moron who operated out of his father's restaurant?
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe, you know?
So just to recap...
I swear he's made that joke every episode that I've watched.
Timeline.
Maybe he filmed all the episodes on one day to knock them out, you know?
Real quick here, Stavros announced that he was leaving Cumtown on June 5th, 2022, saying, "I'm sad my involvement in the pod is over, but I'm also really excited for the future. I'm working on a couple things I can't wait to share. Love ya. Thanks for everything."
And that was definitely his special and stuff.
Cumtown was a very big show with a very loyal fan base. Since Stavros left, they've continued on as the Adam Friedland Show, and it's still a successful podcast, but the relationship between Adam, Nick, and Stavros is still a bit unclear. Mason Connor said, "Just proves that he's either finally realizing just how much money he skipped out on due to his own laziness, or there is much more bad blood between him and the Adam Friedland Show than he'll publicly admit." Andrew Williams said, "Perfect guess for the Adam Friedland Show." Nick said, "Should have called it Stavtown," in relation to Cumtown, obviously. And then J-Stack said, in quotation marks, "I quit podcasting because it didn't make me happy. I was just showing up to collect a paycheck. They're still my friends. We'll hang out and shit. Back to podcasting and still hasn't gone on the Adam Friedland Show." Seems like the old fans of Cumtown definitely want him on as a guest, or just some clarity about what that relationship is currently like.
How has it been, though? The breakup, obviously people are curious, but like has
Are people mad at you online or?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They were always going to be mad at me,
Yeah.
for sure. It's been good. I mean, listen, it's all love. It's all God bless the Adam Friedland show. I hope those boys are successful.
Kind of killing it right now.
It's great.
Have you heard the monologues?
I have not.
Monologues are solid.
I'm completely off everything. Not even that show, just everything. So yeah, it's all like they're gonna be successful. They're hilarious as shit. But I was just like, honestly, dude, I think because I was at the end of this fucking tour and I was so tired, I was like, I don't want to do anything. And also, I talked about it's so funny because I was on the show and I was like, dude, I hate podcasting, and it was almost like. Doing the press run, actually, I was like talking about it, and I was like,
"Oh, so you're blaming
it's your
us
fault."
For,
It's actually I'm talking to you guys.
Nice.
I was like,
you came on the show and you're like podcasting sucks. No, that's fine. Yeah. You've been running like an extremely successful podcast for 6 years. You meet us for one afternoon, and you're like, "Yo, this medium."
I don't want to end up like these pieces of
this
shit.
This medium is dead. Oh man,
it's like when Bam Margera went on Come Town and then had his mental breakdown. It's the same thing.
Cool though, because you don't have like very diehard fans that will totally blame us now. Yeah, we're fine.
Stavi's World comes out every single Monday, and so far has featured guest number 1, Sam Morrill, and guest number 2, the boys from Are You Garbage, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley. There's also a therapy/advice portion at the end of the show. According to Stavros and his friends help solve all your problems. Call 904-800-STAV and leave a voicemail to get some advice. Some people like the advice portion, some people don't. Tommy Callahan said, Stavros, I need some advice. That's the first time those words have ever been said. Jacob Johnson said, I'm hoping it'll be like Therapy Gecko meets an all-you-can-eat Greek buffet, which honestly would be best-case scenario for this new pod. I feel like if you're coming out with a brand new show in this day and age of the saturated podcast market, you need some sort of twist, some sort of angle to make your show stand out. And comedians helping people solve their problems live on the show, Stavros and friends, that could be the perfect new lane for him to step into and really make this thing pop.
Okay, Staffy, I've got a situation. I got like I'm talking to like 3 girls right now, and I don't know how to resolve this issue.
No, he's not.
Before it goes
He's lying.
because I'm gonna have to like pick one, I guess. But I have too much human emotion to turn people down.
Oh my God.
How do I not want to kill myself after this? You know what I mean?
Pause this for a second before we listen to it.
Appreciate it.
I'm furious.
How do I not want to kill myself by how much pussy I have?
Yes.
No, go ahead. I guess finish it.
Buddy, pal, love from Atlanta, and by Atlanta I mean a racist town 45 minutes.
Okay, this guy fucking stinks.
I got a problem too. I fucked a perfect 10 the other night, and she was like, Sam, you're the best. And I was like, Jesus. Problem.
How am I supposed to live up to that every time?
It makes me so sad to accept compliments without giving them.
Basically, you fuck too much, and you're upset
getting too
that
much.
you have to choose one of the women you fuck too much. And you're gonna hurt 2 other. I mean, grow up.
My cock is so good. I'm gonna deprive 2 women of it though when I choose one. And I have too much empathy. I'm too much of a human being.
This is like there's not a line in this that isn't a brag.
No, everything about and even his whole manner. And look, this is the first time this has ever happened to this guy, right? That's what we're dealing with here. This is a man that does not understand. Has never gotten pussy at this level. You're hot right now. This is the best it's ever going to get. Don't think like this is going to be a problem forever for the rest of your life. This is the only time. In fact, he called a week ago? This is a situation already over. If I had to guess, 2 of these women have fallen. At least one of them is not returning your calls by now already. Definitely not by the time this fucking episode airs. You have no problems. Just pick one. This is what dating is. You got hot and you called in to brag. Fuck you, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Call back, and you know what?
You pulled up from 40 and you shot an air ball. You ain't Steph Curry. You're Seth Curry, and you're playing well.
Yeah.
You're a good player. But you ain't got rings.
That's right. You are Seth Curry, and for a moment, this is like when a role player has that one crazy game, and he's like
35 in the playoffs.
Yeah. He's like, I guess I'm a max contract guy. You're not. You're exactly who you are. Enjoy it while it lasts. Call back. I bet you this is a situation that's blown up in your face, just by how ill-equipped you are for it. Next question, Eldis.
That one.
It's like OBJ. He comes in during the playoffs and he's like, "Come on, I should be your main guy." no one wants you to be their main guy.
That one put me in a bad mood. That one.
The biggest debate in this comment section wasn't even about the new podcast or why he left the old podcast. It was about Stavros' laugh. This guy said, who's he going to obnoxiously laugh at if he's by himself? The main reason I never listened to most full episodes of Come Town was his laugh. Plenty of clips, so I last about 5 minutes with the sample.
That's literally how someone introduced it to me for the first time. I was in South Florida. We're on a car trip, and he was like, all right, I'm going to show you this podcast. There's someone with an annoying-ass laugh on it. I want you to ignore him, but listen to what they're saying. You know, and, yeah, that's kind of how everyone sees him, just kind of a annoying. I think he's funny. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a really good comic and good podcast. I like his stuff. You know, I think he's likable. I like his laugh even. You know, I liked him on H3. Maybe I'm just basic.
Episode, and I love Sam M. And Dustin Murphy said, Stav's laugh is absolutely wonderful. The only comedian that may have a better one is Ryan Sickler. Lee Syatt is a good one too. Stavros has been called his own personal laugh track many times in comment sections. Yeah. He has this thing where he's on stage or in a podcast, and he's been known just to burst out in laughter after something that he says, which I get why people can find it annoying. It's like the old Seinfeld episodes with a laugh track. Sometimes it just takes away from the joke. But in Stav's case, I actually find it endearing. First of all, it's his own signature style. It's a unique thing about him. It's very Stavros. You know it's his laugh. It's distinct. The other thing is he never uses it to like cover up bombs. It's not like what he's saying isn't funny. He usually laughs after something hilarious that he says or someone else says.
You moved in with your parents?
I moved in with you know what I did, man.
Where did you go? After that,
I had a really good tight group of friends from high school, and my one buddy was kind of like a nutritionist and all that kind of stuff. And
you guys have lost touch since then?
No, not at all.
He wasn't programmed. I bought the yoga ball.
Besides the people that were still a little pissed off at Stavros for leaving his former podcast just to start a brand new one months later, there were also some commenters basically rolling their eyes at the thought of any new podcast in general. This guy said, I'll listen, might get to the point where it depends on the guest, too many people to keep up with, and eventually the well's going to run thin with guests doing their rounds. His scripted crowd work wasn't enough, so now it's on to scripted podcasts. More power to him. There will definitely some people that eat this up. Is this really a thing with his crowd work that people think it's scripted? I've never heard that. How would you?
I don't think it's scripted at all. Like I don't know. It's not that hard to do crowd work, and some of his crowd work's kind of basic. Some of it's not like the best, but some of it's really funny, man. I think people are just a little too harsh sometimes.
How would you even do that? Like he travels with a plant to every show and That's
what they used to say about Steve Hofstetter, and he was really good at crowd work. People were just hating. Maybe Steve Hofstetter had a plant. I don't think so though.
Him say like a ridiculous occupation or sexual fetish that he can comment written jokes on. I don't even know how you would fake crowd work really on a world tour, but I could be wrong, I guess. Jose said, way too many podcasts to listen to, so no thanks. I'll keep listening to the same 2 podcasts. Ain't nobody got time for that. I totally relate to this. It really does feel like there's just too many podcasts to listen to sometimes. It just is like a confusing and frustrating and hell, even depressing feeling to be overwhelmed.
I don't think it's confusing or depressing. I just think it's all oversaturated. I think the bubble's gonna pop, and the people who make the best content are gonna last the longest. You know, I feel like it's all about upload consistency and stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to upload as much as possible. That's why I like doing the live podcast rather than a scripted, I guess, not live podcast. But hey, that's just me.
By this fast-paced podcast lifestyle that everyone lives in nowadays. But luckily, there's a Joke World Comedy Update every single Monday, bringing you all the comedy news that you need to know.
Hell yeah. Follow Joke World. He is the man. He is fucking awesome. I do follow him for a lot of comedy news. Like, there's no other outlet like him for sure.
Favorite podcasts, your favorite comedians, literally anything happening in the comedy world, all on one show every Monday, one YouTube channel, this one, the one you're already on. Click subscribe and post notifications, turn those on, and boom, you've done it. You can listen to all the podcasts. You'll get updates on who went on each other's shows, new specials coming out, anything happening in the comedy world. Hell, last Tuesday we interviewed Mark Norman live on the Comedy News on this channel. What else do you need? Comedy. Turn it on. Post notifications now. Subscribe.
He has been killing it. I've been following him since like fucking a while now. He's been His subscribers have been jumping the last few months. He's been killing it recently.
That was aggressive. It was cool to loop these comments back into our own main show here, right? You guys did not see that coming. Well, here's another ad. Picture this. You're lounging around at home, doing your thing, but you don't want to wear sweats because you'll look like a giant toddler. You want something super soft and super comfortable, yet smart enough for that unexpected Zoom.
All right, moving on to the next one. It's actually another joke world. It is Tom Segura's entire Erie, Pennsylvania saga. I know like half of it. I don't know all of it.
Pretty colorful opinions on our home city.
Yeah, about Erie on a recent episode of his own podcast called Two Bears, One Cave. Take a look.
I hate Erie, Pennsylvania so much.
Erie, Pennsylvania?
Such a dump, a bunch of losers. It's a depressed town with a depressed economy. And if you live there, you know you're zero. Yeah.
I didn't find it funny at all. Erie is a wonderful place to live. I feel blessed. I've lived here my whole life, was born and
He needs to turn down the music and turn up the speaking.
raised here. I love it. Everybody in my family loves it, and everybody I work with loves it.
Bill Burr versus Philly. Joe Rogan versus Connecticut. Tom Segura against the entire state of Louisiana. As long as stand-up comedies existed, so too has comedians getting involved with an ongoing beef against a specific city or town. Well, it's now time to add Tom Segura versus Erie, Pennsylvania to the top of that list. For those of you who watch the latest YMH live show, you know about the Erie
God fucking damn it. I shouldn't have
Weatherman, who's been going head-to-head with your mom's house fans on Twitter ever since Tom mentioned his love for their city on an episode of Two Bears, One Cave back in September.
You always shit on Connecticut.
It's the dumbest place in the country. It's not a real state. It's a highway between Boston and New York. And it's filled with people that have no hope.
Oh.
Holy shit!
Is Connecticut that bad? I didn't think it was. It looked beautiful when I was out there.
No hope.
I've never heard somebody go harder on Connecticut.
Well, I grew up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So I worked in Connecticut all the time. And every time
Yeah.
I'd leave there, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'll tell you this, though. I did Mohegan Sun Arena, and it was a fucking blast.
Yeah?
Fantastic.
Probably mostly people from New York.
A lot of mass people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Connecticut people are probably like, what's everybody laughing at? One of my best friends, Tommy Jr., he still lives there. I've been
That the
friends
pool
with this
player?
guy. Yeah, he's been
It definitely seems like it's a boring state for sure, but I don't think they're cancel culture.
I've been friends with him for 30 years. He still lives there.
He's from there?
Yeah, I shit on him every time I call him up.
It's so fun to shit on a place. I mean, like, I hate Erie, Pennsylvania so much.
Erie, Pennsylvania?
Such a fucking dump. A bunch of losers. It's a depressed town with a depressed economy. And if you live there, you know
Get
you're
out.
a fucking zero.
Just
yeah.
Just get out.
Get out.
But
Get
if you're
the-
fucking born in a place
I
like
mean, Pennsylvania kind of sucks, let's be honest.
that, you're doomed.
After this episode, his rant was played on the local Erie news, and they even interviewed their mayor about Tom's comments. This should have been the end of it all. They got to play a segment on their local news show about a famous comedian talking about their city. It was all pretty much over, until one of their local weathermen decided that he should use his social media reach and clever brain to attack a world-famous, top-tier comedian in a battle of jokes. I should mention this clip is from YMH Live, which normally I would not show a clip from a pay-per-view show, but this doesn't spoil any of their sketches or heavy segment, and really has nothing to do with their live show. It's just to tell this story, so I feel like this is okay.
And then there was there was a moment where this fucking dork that does the weather chimed in. He tried to.
David Walter,
This
yeah,
guy.
it's tough to describe our home in good conditions this morning, at least when you take a look at what's coming down out the door. It's a mess out there.
I heard for Tom, the reason he's so mad is because he wasn't voted in the top 10 of the sexiest bald men alive. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Zinger.
He got me with the zing.
Nailed you.
Then he
It's
got
daytime TV. He can't say much, you know? He can't, like, fucking roast him too hard.
a couple. I guess he got a couple of crew guys to go like like that.
Sick burn, Walter.
So I want to be clear. We didn't say like find him or do anything. The people on their own, a small group of people that's going to grow significantly, decided to pester him a bit, you know?
No.
Yeah. They did it on Instagram and on Twitter. And then he has been like, he's like, oh, I'll get him. Because, you know, he feels like he's sassy and funny.
Yeah.
So he started doing his own. He started to do shit like, what did he do here? To those who follow me because of the weather. You might be noticing
Oh my
a lot.
God. It seems like it's literally an office meme. I was talking like, a meme that you see around the office. But damn, dude, this guy is basic, and he's trying to take on Tom Segura. That is a tough task, my dude. That's a tough
A lot
task.
of weird comments on my posts. It's
That is
apparently a
crazy.
result of Tom hates
Such a
Erie,
basic
PA.
post.
I made a funny comment
Did
about
you?
Tom, and word got out to his fan base. So now they're swarming my social media accounts with a bunch of sayings. They were comical for 20. So he got sick of it immediately.
Yeah.
Which is why it's going to be so much funnier.
Oh,
when
it's
this
hilarious
really
now.
happens.
As soon as someone reacts to something like this, it's fucking hilarious. My best fucking advice is just don't react.
To you.
Hey, that's just the beginning.
Oh yeah,
that was first pass.
Yeah, this is gonna get interesting.
Oh, you're fucked. You're done, buddy.
But then he tried to he, you can tell it's like the guy it's like The Office, like when you meet somebody who like thinks they're
Yeah,
really funny.
they're the
and
funny
you're
guy,
like,
yeah.
Okay, and so he's starting
Wait,
right. So
wait, can you go back? I'm sorry, just before
Yeah.
we do this.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite part of this. If you have a legit weather question, just DM me and I will answer it. Please don't post in the comment. Who the fuck has a legit
Well,
weather question?
I'm glad
Does
you.
anybody fucking care?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I have a feeling he's going to be getting a lot of legit weather questions.
What could you
Yeah,
possibly
and I
ask?
would don't DM him. Just go ahead and put it in the comments.
Legit questions only, though. guys.
Legit weather questions, and that it's funny that he actually uses a meme from The Office.
All right,
he should be on the show.
Yeah.
So
What a dork.
then he did.
Oh,
so right,
Walter, you're dead.
he tried to have fun after he goes like, "Hey guys, I know where the bodies are," right? And then he goes, and then this is like the ultimate like dork zinger is
Yeah.
like you're in the basement, like are you writing things in your mom's basement?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you're at your mom's house in the basement, where most of you probably live. So now he's trying to give it to the fans that they're basement dwellers,
Sure.
I do feel kind of honored that I'm at the same level as Garth. You're not.
No, you're not.
And then his hashtag Tom Segura basement dwellers. So he keeps referring to fans as
dang.
basement people. 100% chance that the Tom Segura basement club will be spitting
Dang,
wasps.
he is like super upset about this. I had no idea this was a thing. I knew like he had beef with Erie, Pennsylvania. I saw it on his like social media, but besides that, I didn't think it went this deep.
Through the fence of my social media.
Spitting wasps through the fence.
Also, 100% chance it will not snow here. Hey. Yeah.
Spitting wasps.
And then he keeps going to basement, right? So he's like, no, the Tom Segura basement club, the walk up to your parents' rent-free kitchen. So he's basically saying that the fans are all out of work, losers, right?
Right.
And that's it. But like,
How dare he?
here's the thing: you're going to get a wide variety of people. Some of them might be out of work, but some of them won't be. I promise. And then his
But they'll only be hitting you up between the hours of 5:01 and 8:59 a.m. because they have a work
latest
schedule.
thing is that he's like, I decided to instead of being because he was like, bring me on the show.
Oh, please.
Now he says he wants to play basketball and that he'll wear jeans and it'll be
He's calling out his injury.
total destruction by me. I'll tell you this right now. You're invited. I will play you one-on-one in basketball. But we will be mic'd and there'll be cameras there, just so you know. And the invitation is open. So if you want to come down to Austin and play basketball.
But there are no direct flights from Erie to Austin.
Fuck no, there's direct flight. No.
You'll have to start the train now, and then a few buses, and then maybe rent a car.
And he's trying to get on the show, right? he's like, put me on the show. He sent that.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So,
wow. Well,
here it is, man.
serious weather questions only.
Whole new season of social media is going to happen, and it's not winter. It's basement time. So have fun.
Some might be surprised to know that this feud didn't start on the YMH Live. It didn't even start on the Two Bears, One Cave episode with Rogan. The Tom Segura vs. Erie, Pennsylvania saga goes all the way back to the beginning of Tom's stand-up career when he was performing in Erie at a club named Juniors.
Are there any cities or clubs never again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wuhan. What are we thinking?
I don't want to go to Erie.
I died in Erie.
That's a clean room, isn't it?
Last laugh.
They want you to be clean.
Jokers.
Juniors, last laugh.
Yeah.
That was it. I did it once, and the guy was like, "You got to be clean." I'm talking squeaky, and he hosted. He went up and he was like, "So I was fucking my son in the ass." He didn't have to be clean.
That guy was. They were fucking. It was because of they sold it though, so it's not the same owners now.
Okay.
So that clean thing came from this woman who bought the club, and her husband would work the bar, and he would like pull you aside. You got to be clean. You're like, you guys have said this like 8 times, man.
Yeah.
And then I remember I did a set where I worked clean. I did a clean 45 or whatever it was then. And then when I got off stage, the lady goes, "Did you say penis?"
Oh,
right?
come
And I go,
on.
I go, what? She goes, "One of the servers said that you said penis." I go, "Isn't that the proper way to describe the anatomy?" And she was like, "I guess." Like that. And I was
Wow, I guess. What a coos.
I mean, it was just a nightmare.
The funniest part of this whole situation to me personally
I have
is the
no
fact
idea
that on the
what
live
went
show,
on.
Tom and Christina didn't bring up this weatherman thing until about minute 9 or 10 of the show. And within the hour, their loyal YMH fan base had turned his Instagram account private. They literally flooded all of his
Oh, good
social media
shit.
to the point where he had to change his account to private. And he's a weatherman. He's trying to give people news.
He only has 1,339 followers. Pleb. All right. This guy has a lot of ads now. Good for him, man. Good for fucking him. All right, and the last video of the day, Kanye West texted Shane Gillis with an offer. Like, what could they be talking? What is up with all these famous people hitting each other up? Like, why is Shane Gillis and Kanye? Why would they ever talk? You know, I mean, I guess I was watching The Bonfire, and apparently Pete Davidson brought up Shane Gillis and called him the Gill Man or some shit like that. So maybe Kanye's calling Shane like, "Yo, you have any beef on or any dirt on Pete?" You know, I wonder if you know, or maybe he's just trying to hit up someone who also got canceled for something. I don't know.
Should I talk about the text I got, or is that too intense? Bro, one of the craziest things. It was right after you guys saw Ye on Alex Jones.
Yeah.
So I'm on the flight home from, I was in Austin.
Yeah.
I'm watching that the whole day, just like, no, Ye, no,
Nay.
nay.
That's
Damn
funny.
it. I hate to spill the beans, but I got a text that said, "Yo, it's Ye," and Kanye contacted me. That day.
That day he was
That
on
day.
his media tour.
That night, yes. And he wanted to work on something.
On his media daily storm.
And unfortunately, I had to decline.
What? Yeah. It's a funny thing to have him text
I mean, it
you.
was crazy. It gave me, like, my face got hot. I was in an Uber. I was talking to Matt, and I was like, dude, yeah, he just texted me.
That's crazy.
Did you show that to the guy
Yay.
next to you?
I was in the back of an Uber, just like, They're like, he wants to talk right now. I was like, I'm in an airport. I can't. trying to buy time. I was like, holy fuck. Because I knew whatever he said, I was going to say yes. I fucking love Kanye West.
I see good things about Hitler also.
I love his music.
You're doing the right.
I love his music.
You're doing
so
the right
much.
thing. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah, it was
Huge
hard.
Kanye West fan. Can't stand his music.
Everybody's crazy here. All right, we're gonna head to break. And then just Kanye, like, while the camera's panning past the desk, he's like, "I like Hitler." How the segment ended. He must have been like, "God damn it!"
Have you thought about texting him about other stuff?
No,
Like
I don't
funny
want
memes
to
or-
bother him.
Yeah.
And I don't. Of course, there's that fame-hungry party that's like, "Yes, do it."
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
this
like,
would be
that's
doing
no.
it big.
And
You're
then
noble.
don't. And
Hey,
then
you're
do
noble.
not do that. And then do, yeah.
You're noble.
I wonder what it was that he asked him to do. Say it.
I was like, yeah, dude, fucking talk to him right now. And you're like, I was like,
Everybody.
yeah.
That was every single person's reaction. Was
Yeah.
like, do it.
I
And
also
it's
had
like,
no
bro,
idea.
we would lose everything.
I had no idea what his hijinks were that day. I was like, yeah, dude, definitely hit him
That
up.
was the
And
problem.
you
I
like,
said,
dude,
did
he's
you see
going-
what he said
And
today?
I looked it up and went.
Also, that day we were on Rogan. We did like 10 minutes on how great Kanye is.
Yeah.
Don't you think that some of what people would call mental illness, it allows him to be able to be that,
To do that.
dynamic on stage?
Yeah.
And it's a Of gift. course. It's
Yeah.
a gift, but it's a gift that has to be managed.
He says it's his superpower.
In no way. I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic, like Rain Man. And that's part of my superpower.
Just like Jerry Seinfeld, him, Chris Rock, who else came out as autistic? Anyone who's just really good at like fucking what's it called? Any like art or anything like that, just a little autistic, you know. I get it.
Like Rogan, like, look at this guy, he's a genius. Oh, dude, put up this video of him at the Amazon concert. It's the best thing I've ever seen. And then we get done. I'm, anxiety from doing that podcast. And the next day, I'm on the plane, like, oh God, what have I done?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, bad
Then you get a
looks.
text from him, and it's like,
Nah, you can't touch Kanye with a fucking 10-foot pole right now, though. Like, nah, dude. He needs to, like, apologize for what he said. It was wrong. It's been hurting people. You know, you can't, dude. You can't fucking work with Kanye right now.
damn, it was a lot.
That's a lot.
He needs to apologize, make a killer album, and then, like, give a bunch of money from that album to, like, a Jewish society or some shit. I have no idea.
It's a lot to take in.
It was a lot, dude.
I'm sweating in my robe. I'm trying to make plans in my robe. My balls are
Sacks
dropping.
dripping on the floor. I'm having a panic attack in an Uber, leaving JFK. Just like, Matt, I gotta go. I gotta talk to you later, dude. You're not gonna believe what's going on. I'll see you later.
I was saying to Shane,
the right
how
thing.
funny is it that Kanye in his head is like, well, I'll just go on Gillian Keeves. It'll be fine.
If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week, and I'll be fine. Anyway, I thought that was funny. No?
What?
Maybe you could do like supervised podcasting, like they do supervised visitation, just to see if you can handle like 15 minutes at a time, then a half hour,
What do
then
you
an
mean?
hour.
With
Like-
Ye?
Yeah, just have like a ward of the state come with you, just to see if you can keep it together for like 15.
Dude, if I would join immediately. Immediately. He'd be like, this is how I feel. I'd be like, you're exactly right.
Did you see his subreddit got turned into like a Holocaust awareness thing?
Oh, yeah.
That is one thing people seem to be a little unaware of.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
we're having a laugh.
We're having a laugh.
We're having a goof. There's the most famous person in the world denying the Holocaust right now on a meta level. It's fun. On a meta level, because it's
Matt?
so ridiculous.
Yeah, take yourself out of the equation.
It's funny.
When he was like, if you were like, if you went back in time and he was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people, and you got to sit there in your time machine and go, oh, you guys just wait what happens. Wait till the lid pops off of this guy. That's a funny thing to think about.
It is very funny.
When you just get out of the fourth dimension, this whole stuff gets kind of funny.
True.
When you can suspend time, it's like, it's kind of all kind of
Yeah,
funny.
you suspend time.
It's all kind of funny if you can suspend time.
You go to Dr. Strange. You're like a Holocaust joke.
There's an alternate.
Or funny.
There's an alternate timeline where
you like
the
open it,
only
you
thing that
actually
was
see it, you're
different.
like, oh, Chuck, close that. That's terrible.
He might be having a bit of a
That's
mental
wild.
breakdown.
He could.
Yeah, he is.
He could be. Or he's a genius that's trying to show everybody that you can be a martyr and lose everything publicly.
Well, I also
One of those things.
They
I mean,
did
he could
also
have
just
given
say
it all away.
I think he's probably
200,000 mark.
I'll be honest.
This guy's fucking having
Yeah.
Imagine him standing next to Mike Myers and just saying like, "There's no way it was 6 million," and Mike Myers is just,
Oh my god.
"Excuse me, a baking powder."
Okay.
We're being liberated. Get the net.
Netanyahu, dude. That's a good bit, dude. That was a good bit.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was because he brought out a yoo-hoo. It wasn't even a fucking.
That was a good bit,
Yo,
dude.
That wasn't.
Pull over the limo. I need to grab a yoo-hoo real quick.
Did he talk about you, or was he
No,
sipping
he brought
on
out
he was doing
Yahoo
it
comedy,
comedy,
dude.
And he was like,
Oh, these guys were.
Because that was the.
I thought you were saying he was
He's
like.
doing
really-
carrot top. On,
Yeah,
or he's
he-
doing sweet potato top.
Yeah.
Sweet potato top.
Bro catching net and a yoo-hoo, and he's
Yeah.
doing net and Yahoo.
It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice.
How does Shane and them not think that's fucking mental illness right there, dude? Come on.
is gonna sound like that, Netanyahu.
My whole point is
That's
the whole
wild.
subject is quicksand, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm out. You get out of it, then you go.
It's very thoughtful. of you
Is
know
the
that.
ground still? And you slip
Yeah,
down
yeah.
to it up in your nipples. You're like, dude,
You're
it's
like,
the whole
wait,
thing.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on, I got this.
Yeah. Maybe what Kanye's trying to do.
Nah, yeah.
Well, let's see what the numbers say.
It was funny. It was actually funny if you saw it. Dang it.
No, we don't have to talk about that stuff.
Well, we did. I did call my agent to tell him I'm doing it.
He's like, yeah, okay.
He was like,
He said, "The f- you are."
he was like, what? He was like, Shane, do not do this. I put it on speaker.
Shane was in a convertible. I can't hear you. Hung it up, threw in the back
I was
seat.
like, no, I'm going to do it tomorrow, actually. He wants to fly me tomorrow. He was like, we've worked so hard. You and all your friends, you can't do this. And I was like, I'm doing it, dude. It's going to be hilarious.
I'd be pissed if I was his manager.
And then I was sitting around. I was like, dude, if I was a true artist, I would do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Well,
I'm a
also,
coward.
no, I don't think it's a cowardice.
No, you're a kind-hearted
I think it's
bitch,
nice.
dude.
I think
Call
it's
him
nice.
now.
I think
I'm
it's
a
nice to sit
coward,
back.
dude. I should have been on that fucking plane, dude. Should have been me, Milo, Fuentes, and Kanye.
I mean,
Good
that's a tough
God.
flight to Florida.
I mean, just that
that's a
picture.
tough 2.5 hours,
That's
dude.
Dork City, dude.
Oh my god.
Just that picture alone, dude, would be.
On the private jet, Milo's pretending to read a
Meanwhile,
Bible.
all the people.
Shane would be the only cool one there. You can't associate yourself with that dog.
Criticizing me would have been on the private jet to Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I can't believe he's on that.
Nah. That's
They'd
wrong.
be like, what about that other jet? Remember that other
Two
private
jets.
jet? There's a
There's two
pretty
jets.
bad private jet that a lot of you guys were on.
Is Epstein Island still functional?
For like kids, or you mean like?
That was a weird question at the end, for sure. But hey, guys, I think that's it for me today, man. Went over some funny stuff. Went live on TikTok. Went live on Twitch. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll be posting this in about a week or so. And yeah, I love you guys. And have a great motherfucking day. And remember, follow my new YouTube, Terminally Online. I post clips from here and all over. So yeah, follow that YouTube channel. Thank you. Peace.